The soldiers of the occupying Russian army have attempted to shoot down a flame-throwing drone belonging to the Ukrainian army in the eastern direction of the front. As seen in the footage shared on Telegram channels, the occupying soldiers, in panic, targeted the drone approaching their positions with small arms. Despite the continuous fire, the drone, which ignited nearby positions, manages to move away from the area. It is worth noting that the Ukrainian army has been consistently using flame-throwing drones to burn the positions of the occupying Russian soldiers.
Магазины, блядь! Сюда идет! Дорогу, ебаный в рот! Давай! Съебался? Антон, он уехал, блядь. Уехал? Да. Пидорас, блядь!
Drone technology has fundamentally changed the nature of warfare in Ukraine over the past 3 years. Both Ukraine and Russia are increasingly using more sophisticated small drones, which have led to the abandonment of large armored vehicles. Instead, both sides have moved to smaller, more dispersed units to reduce their vulnerability. However, as drones have become more common, both sides have begun using them specifically against these small groups, which have little or no defense against aerial threats. Forbes reports, in response, Ukraine has begun producing special anti-drone ammunition that can be fired from standard automatic weapons. The ammunition is expected to play a key role in deterring a new Russian offensive. Ukrainian defensive initiative Brave One has released a video showing soldiers successfully destroying a small drone using a new type of ammunition. The ammunition is a standard 5.56mm round that is compatible with NATO small arms, including the CZ Bren and M4. Although technical specifications have not been disclosed, it is reported that such cartridges are already in limited use in practice. According to the publication, after firing, the cartridge disintegrates into approximately 5 fast-flying elements. When firing in bursts, an effect resembling a shotgun volley is created, which allows drones to be effectively hit at a distance of up to 50 meters. According to Brave One, Ukraine is ramping up production so that every soldier receives at least 1 magazine of these rounds. This allows soldiers to defend against drones without the additional burden of carrying a separate weapon. Instead of changing weapons, a soldier can simply replace the magazine, which takes significantly less time and requires less coordination. The special rounds come as small drones play a key role in Russia's summer offensive to breach entrenched Ukrainian positions. Russia has been using drones to scout and target Ukrainian defenses before launching a ground assault. Previously, this role was usually filled by artillery, but drones are a cheaper and more accessible option, especially given Russia's current resource limitations. The new NATO standardized ammunition is likely to prove extremely useful to Ukrainian troops in holding the line. It is expected that it will be sent straight to the front lines, giving soldiers a quick and effective tool to combat drones. The article says, the media writes that when neutralizing UAVs, Russian troops will have to rely on artillery again or launch frontal attacks on fortified positions. But artillery strikes are less accurate, require more resources, and reveal the location of batteries, which themselves become targets for Ukrainian drones. And direct assaults without UAV support are fraught with high losses with minimal results. In a broader context, the use of these rounds could change the current cat-and-mouse game between attack and counter-drone weapons. They offer a kinetic method of neutralizing drones, acting as an alternative to common electronic warfare systems. The head of the Russian regime, Putin, decided to brag in an interview with propagandist Zarubin and called the Aurus limousine a completely Russian car. However, the attempt to show Russian technological advancement failed. It turned out that Russia imported spare parts for its production for tens of millions of dollars, writes agency. Putin's embarrassment immediately became the subject of ridicule on social media. During the conversation, the head of the Kremlin said that he presented the limousine to the UAE leader as 100% Russian, supposedly without any serious dependence on imports. "This is 100% our machine, our production, our development. Our partners were only consultants," he said. But the facts are different. From 2018 to 2023, Aurus Motors imported components and equipment worth $34 million from abroad. The suppliers include North Korea, Italy, India, China, and Turkey. The purchased parts included body panels, sensors, controllers, switches, welding equipment, and software. Even after the start of a full-scale war against Ukraine, when Russian propaganda assured that the country produces everything itself, purchases continued. Since February 2022, almost $16 million worth of foreign components have arrived. The NAMI Center itself, which developed the limousines, admitted last year that the level of localization does not reach 100%. According to their data, the production of Auruses is approximately 90% Russian, but even this figure raises doubts, given the scale of deliveries. Experts note that such statements by Putin create the illusion of technological power, while in reality, Russia remains deeply dependent on foreign components, even for its main symbols of prestige. Earlier, media reported that the car market is going into a steep dive. Experts predict a major decline in Russia. The Association of European Businesses, AEB, has revised its forecast for car sales in Russia downwards. In 2025, the market, according to their estimates, will shrink by 24%. This will be one of the sharpest declines in recent decades. The market has only slumped more seriously after the annexation of Crimea and in the first months of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The updated AEB report states that only 1.25 million cars will be sold in Russia by the end of the year. The previous forecast allowed for a 15% decrease, but the deterioration of the macroeconomic situation, tax increases, and the lack of government support forced analysts to revise their estimates. The situation is getting worse with each passing month. In the first half of the year, car sales fell by 27% and in June by 29%. At the same time, as noted in the AEB press release, there are no signs of stabilization yet. The association's representative, Alexei Kalitsev, noted that the market could partially recover if the state programs First Car and Family Car are resumed, as well as if the central bank's key rate is reduced. However, no official decisions have been made on this matter yet, and the current forecast is made based on the existing realities.